Hey everyone, so in 2024, Empire Flippers crossed a massive milestone with over $500 million worth of online businesses sold. So whether you're looking to buy an online business or sell an online business, we're going to be putting Empire Flippers under the microscope to see if it lives up to the hype. Empire Flippers is a curated marketplace for buying and selling online businesses. The platform boasts 325,000 buyers and sellers, over $12.5 billion in verified liquidity, and as of January 1st, 2025, Empire Flippers has sold 2,386 online businesses to date. Unlike a lot of other marketplaces out there, Empire Flippers actually rejects about 90% of businesses that are submitted for sale. Their vetting team takes things seriously and they don't just take sellers' word for it. They verify everything from Google Analytics to the actual numbers of revenue and profit. So Empire Flippers lists various kind of businesses, but what types are you going to find more than others? So as of March 2024, about 9 months ago, the current CEO in a YouTube comment verified the approximate percentage of business models that are listed for sale on Empire Flippers. Starting with e-commerce businesses, mostly Amazon FBA, but also including Shopify at about 59% of all listings, followed by content sites at 29%, with the other 12% being a mixture of Amazon KDP, merch, agencies and services, SaaS, and potentially also things like YouTube channels. While of course the ratio of business models changes over time and may perhaps be a little bit different as of right now, overall this is a pretty standard ratio for Empire Flippers where a majority of the business volume that they do is e-commerce, in particular Amazon FBA, but there are plenty of other business models that are sold on the site as well. So as of January 1st, 2025, listings tend to range from about $50,000 to $10 million and sometimes over $10 million. Between the $50,000 to $1 million range, that's where the majority of listings are priced at. You're also going to find plenty of regular listings between $1 to $5 million. Definitely a few between $5 million to 10 million, but of course they are far less common, and the occasional business that's listed for 8 figures, so over $10 million. For example, in late 2024, a spiritual jewelry e-commerce Shopify-focused business sold for $12 million with 75% cash up front and a 2-year earn-out period for the remainder. And now in terms of the multiples for businesses sold, it's going to range widely. So you're going to have businesses selling for between 20 times monthly profit to 60 times monthly profit. It really depends on the business model, the health and the state of the individual business. But on average, premium businesses, according to Empire Flippers, are going for a multiple of about 33.5 times monthly average profit over the trailing 12 months. Premium businesses listed for over $1 million are going for a multiple of 39.5 times monthly profit. And on average, typical businesses sell for about a 30 times multiple. But this really depends on multiple factors. So for example, if a business is in distress, for example, something has happened and revenue is dropping sharply, that business may only sell for a 13 times multiple of monthly profit. While if you have a super high growth SaaS, potentially not even making that much profit, the multiple could be much higher just because multiples for SaaS tend to be at a higher range, over 40, 50 potentially. So multiples are really on a case-by-case basis, but somewhere in that 30 to 35 range for your normal healthy business is what you can potentially expect on Empire Flippers. So overall, what really separates Empire Flippers from other marketplaces isn't necessarily the type of business sold or the price range, but rather the fact that it functions as a hybrid of a marketplace and a broker. So unlike marketplaces like Flipper or Acquire.com, where it's much more seller to buyer directly, Empire Flippers' team is much more involved in the vetting process, in the migration process. So you're getting that brokerage, private broker experience where it's much more hands-off for you, both as a buyer and a seller. You have that safety and security from having their team's help, but you also have that marketplace experience where as a seller, you have access to a huge pool of vetted buyers, And as a buyer, you have a helpful user experience on the platform where you can filter through businesses for sale, and it functions much more like a marketplace in that sense. So yes, Empire Flippers is legit, but it's not right for everybody. So let's go through the buying process next and talk about what the buying experience is like. So let's say you're browsing through the Empire Flippers marketplace and you're looking through a business that you like. Let's say it's Amazon FBA store. It's selling for $1 million. You like the growth trajectory. It's in a niche that you're familiar with and you wanted to add it to your portfolio of Amazon businesses. But you can't see the details, right? So obviously they're not going to list all the sensitive information to keep seller's private information safe. So the next step is twofold. First, you have to verify your identity, and next you have to show proof of funds so that, for example, if you're trying to unlock a business for $1 million, you need to have proof that you actually have that liquidity available. After unlocking a business, you get access to all the details, so you can do further due diligence to see if it's the right business for you. And let's say you want to make an offer. The process for that depends on how much the listing is for. So for listings under $300,000, you can talk directly to the seller. And for listings over $300,000, unlocking a business will automatically start an email thread with a business advisor from Empire Flippers so that you can start the communication and potential buying process directly with them. After verifying ID, showing proof of funds, and you've done a bit of due diligence, you can submit an offer on the platform for the business. You can either offer the full amount, or if you offer less than the full amount, the business will continue to circulate around to other potential buyers. If there's a buy now button, you can buy the business now by either putting down a 10% deposit or paying $9,900, both of which are non-refundable, to lock the business in. So what really makes Empire Flippers unique from a buyer's perspective is that they take care of everything. They make it really, really simple and stress-free. As stress-free as buying a business can be. So they're going to help with everything from migrating hosting to Amazon FBA and whatever else needs to be migrated. And they're not going to release the funds to the seller until everything is 100% confirmed and you're ready to go with that business and it's operating as it should be. So Empire Flippers really keeps you safe as a buyer, and you're going to have much more peace of mind as opposed to going at it yourself if you're not experienced at doing that yourself. However, of course, depending on the size of the business, it's still potentially advisable to have your own team, accountants or lawyers, to help with due diligence. While as a buyer on Empire Flippers, you don't pay direct fees, it's important to keep in mind things like fees for international wires, which can add up for large amounts, so you might consider using something like Wise or another alternative. Empire Flippers are also cryptocurrency friendly, so you can potentially pay using Bitcoin or Ethereum, or if you select stablecoins if cryptocurrency favors your situation. So I'm not going to go into any more depth on the buying process because there are a lot of steps involved that are important to be aware of. Empire Flippers actually have a very detailed guide that covers every step of the buying process. So that's in the description if you want to click that and read about the process more thoroughly. All right, so let's get into selling and what you need to know if you want to list and sell your business with Empire Flippers. If you sell a business with Empire Flippers, just like many other brokerages, you're going to end up paying a commission. Empire Flippers actually have a very helpful commission calculator. So you can basically input the amount that you are potentially selling your business for. Let's say we're looking to sell our business for $1 million. We just click calculate commission and we see that there's a 12.9% effective commission. So that would equal $129,000 in commission. Let's say we're selling a larger business at $10 million. Would be paying a lower effective commission at 5.74% or $574,000 in total. Let's say we're selling a smaller affiliate content site about gardening, whatever it may be. So we can see that that's a 15% commission, which is the maximum effective commission rate, or $7,500. Now, while paying $129,000 on $1 million sale may seem like a lot, think about the stress that you're not going to have versus going at it alone. You're really going to be helped along every step of the way, and they want to sell it and make it as easy as possible for you, so you do actually sell it, and they get their commission, of course. So You have to consider that potentially if you didn't have access to the buyer pool of Empire Flippers, maybe you could only end up selling that business for $700,000 and you'd be a few $100,000 short versus selling it with Empire Flippers with the commission. So you have to think about it from that perspective rather than just seeing the commission and being scared off by that amount, because they really do earn their amount with the amount of time they save you and the stress that you're not going to have going at it alone. Okay, so when it comes to how much you can potentially sell your business for, like we talked about earlier, the multiples really depend on numerous factors such as the business model, how healthy the business is, and of course, just what the Empire Flippers team thinks based on their data, what they think they can sell your type of business for. Empire Flippers also has a very helpful valuation calculator where you can quickly and for free get an estimate of how much your business could potentially sell for. So let's say we have an agency for sale. We just click through there. It asks how many hours do you work on the business. Let's say 10 hours per week, so it's pretty automated. Let's say we started the business 2020 January 1st. Let's say we're making 150,000 in gross revenue monthly and 40,000 in average monthly net profit. Hit next. Let's say we have 20 active customers. Let's say we've got 20,000 monthly visitors per month. Let's say we have 1,000 email subscribers and 1,000 total followers on social media. So we can see we have a great valuation at $1.736 million, which is at a pretty high multiple, given it's got good margins for a service business and also with only 10 hours per week. With that size revenue and profit, it's pretty well automated. Obviously, it's important to keep in mind that this is not the price that you're going to sell for. After doing further due diligence, they're going to provide you with a preliminary valuation and then a final valuation for you to review and accept. And that's going to be based on all the details that you provide them and many other different factors. However, this free and quick valuation calculator should give you a pretty good estimate of the range that you could potentially sell your business. Now, when it comes to the vetting process, so you can expect a few weeks for this, but again, it really depends on your specific business. So, for example, let's say you have a very large 7-figure complex e-commerce business that's selling on Shopify, on Amazon, on WooCommerce, then you can expect 3 to 4 weeks potentially for that vetting for that business. But maybe if you have a very simple $50,000 content affiliate site about gardening or something like that, and it's a very simple business model, that business could be vetted, accepted, and listed within a week. Or vice versa. It really depends, but expect and plan for about 3 to 4 weeks for that vetting process to be done, assuming you get accepted and listed. So to get started as a seller, you can just use that valuation calculator, estimate how much your business could potentially sell for, and then set up a call with an Empire Flippers business advisor that's going to do that initial assessment with you on a call, chat about your business, see if it's a right fit for them, and then proceed from there potentially with doing a preliminary evaluation. So if you want to proceed with that, there are a few pieces of key information that you need to have ready. So have 12 months of profit history or revenue profit. If you have an accountant, have that all tidied up in a spreadsheet so it's presentable for the team to assess. And depending on your business, also have access for the team for Google Analytics, for example, so they can go in and see your traffic over time. And the team will, of course, ask if they need other specific information depending on your business model. The great thing is that they'll actually create a professional profit and loss statement for you. So that can be really good to just have and see from their perspective as well. But please do keep in mind that Empire Flippers don't have a minimum listing price, but rather a minimum monthly net profit, which is $2,000 per month on average over trailing 12 months. Okay, so let's say your business sells, the migration team does all the heavy lifting, you're happy, you're about to get paid, awesome. How long can you expect that process to take though? So on average, at least according to the scoreboard January 1st, 2025, it takes 107 days to sell a business, which is actually pretty quick. Now, as with everything I've mentioned, it depends. So it could take 6 months. It could take 12 months if you want upfront payment rather than an earn-out period. It could sell within a few hours if it's a very small business and it's marketed at a good price. So it really depends, but you should estimate a few months, something like that. Okay, so let's get brutally honest about the pros and cons of empire flippers. The good thing is that they have a lot of serious vetted buyers, from entrepreneurs to aggregators. There are serious people with serious money looking on empire flippers for online businesses to acquire. Empire flippers has a thorough verification process, right? So anything they list on empire flippers, they are sure is good and have done their due diligence. They aren't just listing anything willy-nilly just to have more listings on their platform. They really are quality over quantity. They have a professional support team, right? So you're going to be, as a buyer or seller, really assisted through every step of the way, which makes it hands-off and stress-free for you. And they have a secure escrow process and a good migration process in place just to keep everybody safe and everybody's funds safe. And now for the not so good. There are definitely platforms out there that may have lower commission rates, for example. As a seller, they do have very strict listing requirements. So unfortunately, even if you do have a profitable, good online business, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get listed, which can be frustrating. It can take time to sell a business, particularly if it's a unique business that they don't sell often. That could take longer than potentially you expect or hope for. And Empire Flippers does have a 2-month exclusivity period. So if you're looking to sell with them, you can't list it on other marketplaces at the same time. These aren't all necessarily very negative. They're just things that you have to consider based on what's important to you as a seller in this case. All right, so Empire Flippers is not right for you if you're looking to acquire very small micro businesses, websites that may be selling in the $1,000 to $10,000 range, or even up to $20,000. You're much better off going for something like Flipper or Acquire.com if you're looking for micro SaaS businesses. So it's not the place for very small businesses. Anything offline, brick and mortar type business, you're better off looking at a marketplace like BizBuySell or businessesforsale.com. And also for very large businesses, for example, an e-commerce store that's selling for $200 million, Empire Flippers may not be the best place to go looking for those businesses to buy or to sell yours. Potentially, you may want to go with a private broker or another website that has more experience with those large deals. That's not to say Empire Flippers couldn't potentially sell a $100 million business. I'm sure they could and they will in the future. But potentially, it's better to go with somewhere that has a track record of those business-sized size deals. So wrapping things up, yes, Empire Flippers is definitely legit, but it's not right for everybody. So if you're ready to take the next step as a buyer, browse the marketplace, verify your ID and proof of funds, and you can proceed there and potentially make offers on businesses that you like. If you're a seller, use the valuation calculator, estimate how much your business could potentially sell for, book a call with a business analyst from there, and organize your financials and other details from the last 12 months to present to Empire Flippers so they can vet your business. All the links to the valuation calculator, commission calculator, all those can be found in the description below, so you can go ahead and check those out. Also, just from my personal experience looking to sell with Empire Flippers, I remember on my initial call with the business analyst, I really liked that they were no bullshit. They got straight to the point, they weren't there to waste time, but they're also super friendly, and you could tell that they cared about you as a seller. And I just really had a good experience with Empire Flippers and their team. But as with everything in the world of business, be sure to do your own due diligence. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out Empire Flippers in the description. And thank you so much for watching.